Well, let's get to our Friday ELA lesson today. And we're just going to look at one slide. And then I want you to go do your science behind sight test and your spelling test for today. And that's all you have to do for ELA after you watch this one slide, okay? So this one slide is on content area words. So we're looking at words that are specific to an area of study. We have words that we use in reading. We have words that we use in science and math and social studies. So we use words like Revolutionary War in social studies. We probably wouldn't talk about a Revolutionary War in science and math. We use words like subtraction and place value in math, but we might not talk about them in other places. Science and math are sometimes pretty closely related, but we're probably not going to talk about kinetic energy during social studies. So content area words are words that are specific to an area of study. Content area words are often in boldface. It's just think about the words we've learned in the different subjects. Just this week, we've learned a lot of words. You might see them in visuals, like diagrams, like we saw in the science behind sight. Lots of diagrams, lots of graphic features in there. So here's boldface words to science when we will be studying about plant life, the different parts of a flower, the stamen and the anther and the petal and the stem, the parts of a flower. Those are content area words we would talk about in science. We will talk about in science, but probably not some other area. Math, we might talk about fractions. We will this year, and how they have common denominators. A big word there. The number on the bottom in a fraction is called a denominator. That's a content area word. And then social studies, we might talk about latitude and longitude lines. Sometimes there are different uses of a common word, like there's a flower. It might be an iris flower, but we also learned in reading this week a kind of science word, didn't we? That the colored part around our pupil is called the iris. Sometimes a student is called a pupil, but we learn that the black part in the center of our eye is called a pupil as well. So that's some of those multi-meaning words that we looked at yesterday. Okay, it's Friday. I'm ready for the weekend, aren't you? You've worked really hard this week, and I'm proud of you. We've learned a lot about how our eyes work. We are thinking about our story we want to write, what kind of animal we want to write about. We've learned 20 new spelling words that you're about to take a test on. We learned 5 new content area vocabulary words for our story that you're about to take a test on. And so I'm going to be quiet and I'm going to let you go get started. And I'll see you in our Google Meet today. Take your reading test and your spelling test.